how did Harley manage to start doing the fitness with you in her 40s?
Yes. So what happened is she found out that she was going to be up for a certain role, and she's always worked out. She's worked out for the past 30 something years. However, with that said, she hasn't worked out to her full potential.
Mm,
And she's told me this many times where she's had trainers, but they've never really pushed her. I think because they were afraid that she may get injured, or it will be an insurance type thing when it comes to a certain film.
mm,
Um, and myself, being that I was already working as a stunt performer, I knew what she was going to have to do for a specific movie. I knew what was going to be asked of her.
mhm.
And she showed a big interest in doing her own action, doing her own movements and martial arts choreography. So right then and there, a spark went off. I thought, okay, I'm going to train her so that way she's strong
Mhm.
sustainably for everything she does. But I'm also going to train her very specifically so that way when she gets to that timeline the day of where she has to endure this choreography and there's going to be several takes of this, that
Yeah.
her body's already familiar with all these movements
Mhm.
versus just working on one linear path plane of motion. She
Right.
had to be, again, going back to the idea of multi-directional awareness, multi-directional strength. She had to be able to move her body in a way that would be reminiscent of the character she's playing. So we had to throw the kitchen sink at her, not just, okay, you're going to do this squat and press for 20 reps, and then we're going to move on and do this thing. It
Mhm.
went from doing stuff like that to, okay, now we're going to throw this medicine ball from here over your head that way. You're going to turn around, you're going to sprint, you're going to pick it up again, you're going to throw it in a different direction. So we had to train her like an athlete because when someone tells me they want to do their own stunts and their own action, you're telling me indirectly that you're going to train like a professional athlete now.
Yeah.
You're going to train like a professional fighter. You're going to train like a professional dancer. You're going to train like a professional swimmer. You're going
Right.
to do all these things that is going to be required of your character just in case that you're thrown in the driver's seat. You're going to go, okay, time to saddle up. I better do this right now because it's asked upon me and you don't want to look bad, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
be there the day of and be unprepared. So
Mhm.
that was always my takeaway with this was how can I get her to be comfortable with very uncomfortable situations, regardless of the weather that was there. Because again, if you're shooting on location, not interior always, but exterior, if you're not in a big sound stage, if you will, like some of these big sound stages, everything can be contained and controlled. But when you're shooting outdoors,
Yeah.
anything can happen. A
Right.
good example, I was working in Morocco and there was a full on sandstorm that happened. What do? You got to keep filming or you got to take a little break and wait for that to pass and then you continue on filming. So yeah, it happens. And I think fitness should be looked upon the same way.
Mhm.
And being, uh, I hate to even say the word, but being of age where any accident could happen and it could really injure you and you could be put out for 6 months. Why would you wait for yourself to get to that age to
Mhm.
move your body?
Right.
Right. So again, going back to this winter arc mindset of, oh, I'm only going to get fit for the season and then I'm going to just kind of
Yeah.
put my body to rest. Like, I
Eat
think if you if
burritos.
you if you love you, right, if you exactly, I'm going to be a couch potato the rest of my life. But if you love yourself enough, if you have enough respect for yourself, then
Mhm.
you will always nurture yourself in that way, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You're gonna do all the things, and it's gonna be a 365 thing per year, not just a minimal seasonal thing where it's like, okay, for 2 seasons I'm gonna be fit and then I'm gonna put it to rest. Like I
So
don't think that's the answer.
when she met you, you guys decided, you know what, we're not going to just train for this movie, but what can we do to build this into your lifestyle?
Yes, exactly. That's what it was. It was like we wake up and we wake up and we take a big deep breath of gratitude and we take a big thing of water and we're drinking our water first thing in the morning and we give thanks and we do all these things
Mhm.
regardless of what we have to do in our day. So why not make fitness part of your day-to-day operation as well versus like, again, I only have to prepare for this thing and then, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this to be over, I'm going to go and smoke a pack of cigarettes now. Like, why? You would never do that.
Yeah.
right? So it's all about, for me, let's let's integrate this into your everyday life. So if she didn't want to do movies anymore, she would still be fit the rest of her life,
Yeah.
because it makes her feel good. It makes her healthy. It makes her feel accomplished. It does all these things that have nothing to do with the movie itself,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
If anything, she is now the real life character that she brought to life from that script. Is
Wow.
she's nurturing herself and having enough respect for herself and being strong for her family. We always hear, would you die for your kids? Of
Hmm.
course you would die for your kids. Duh. I would take a bullet for my daughter any second of the day without even a thought. But would you live for your child? Would you take care of yourself so you could be alive and
Wow.
be healthy when you're in your 80s and 90s? Would
Mm.
you be able to be there for the grandchildren if that ever happens, right? So I think about fitness and longevity in that aspect